Recording in progress.
All right, call court to order. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, May the 19th, 2026. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Wednesday, May 13th, 2026 at 3:55 p.m.
All right, thank you. Ben, will you tell them that the video is not on? They may be recording, but it's not showing. All right. Okay, at this time, let's stand brief for a moment of silence, and then we'll have the pledge to the flags.
Please join the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. All right, at this time, if there's anyone that wants to speak to the court on business matters, please come forward and do it at this time.
I think that's,
All right, if you would, state your name, and we allow 3 minutes to make your case.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you for having me. My name is Derek Roper. I'm the Fire Chief with the Lorena Volunteer Fire Department. The Lorena Volunteer Fire Department has experienced substantial operational growth while continuing to provide professional emergency services with limited financial resources. Increased call volume, rapid residential and commercial development, aging apparatus, rising operational costs, and staffing challenges all indicate that the current funding model is unlikely to sustain the department's future needs. As the district continues to expand, so does the responsibility placed upon the department to provide timely, effective, and emergency response services. The members of the LVFD have constantly demonstrated dedication to the community through volunteer service, aggressive pursuit of grant opportunities, and responsible fiscal management. However, grants and donations, along with city and county funding, cannot provide the stable long-term financial foundation needed to support future operations. Personnel apparatus replacement, facility improvements, and advanced emergency response capabilities. After evaluating several potential funding models, the Lorena Volunteer Fire Department recommends pursuing the creation of McLennan County Emergency Service District Number 1. The establishment of an emergency service district would provide a stable and substantial revenue source dedicated specifically to fire protection and emergency medical services within our district. Some things that this would allow for us: replacing aging apparatus and equipment, and also much needed facility repairs. Improve firefighter safety through more improved equipment and PPE. Also ensures our long-term operational stability for the citizens served by the department. The department recognizes the creation of an ESD would result in additional tax burden for residents within the proposed district boundaries. This consideration is not taken lightly. We've been talking about this for 2 or 3 years, trying to find a good way for us to proceed. Any proposed tax rate would be carefully evaluated to ensure fiscal responsibility while balancing the growing emergency medical services needed. LVFD remains committed to transparency, responsible stewardship of public funds, and providing the highest level of service possible to the citizens of Lorena and the surrounding districts. The department believes that establishing an emergency service district represents the most practical and sustainable path forward to preserve and strengthen emergency services for future generations. Judge, Commissioners, I understand that was a very, very short synopsis. This is something we've been working on for years. We would love the opportunity to sit down and come to the table and discuss this option with you guys so that we can all continue to grow as our county is doing now. We just want to make sure that we're providing the most responsible service for our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, anyone else want to speak to the court on business matters? All right. If not, let's go to proclamations and resolutions, and let's see, I think under, let's go to item M8, on page 13, presentation of plaque recognizing the La Vega High School, excuse me, La Vega High School soccer team. And so, if you would read it into the record, and then Commissioner will present it.
Hold this up for the guys, the team. Appreciate y'all coming today. I'm gonna read this, then I'll deal with this a little bit more.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. In recognition of the outstanding achievements of the La Vega Pirates 2025-2026 boys soccer team, for an extraordinary display of athletic excellence, teamwork, commitment throughout the 2025-2026 season, the La Vega Pirates boys soccer team captured the championship title and etched their names into school history. Through countless hours of preparation, perseverance, and sacrifice, this team rose to every challenge and showcased the true meaning of leadership, unity, and competitive spirit. Your achievement stands as a proud moment for the La Vega ISD, your families, coaches, classmates, and the entire McLennan County community. Congratulations on an incredible championship season and a legacy that will inspire future Pirates for years to come. Judge and Commissioners, I'd like to introduce to you the 2025-26 varsity boys soccer team.
Can we get them to stand up when you introduce them?
Yes, please. Alex Rubio, Adam Ramos, Adele Galvan, Emmanuel Almanza, Ricardo Rodriguez, Junior Ochoa, Jordan Medina, Kevin Gutierrez, Devani Morales, Angel Cavillo, Gael Hernandez, Romario Varela, Kevin Perez, Obed Ojeda, Rafael Montalago, Daniel Castillo, Gerardo Hernandez, Jonathan Segura, Giovanni Zarate, Gustavo James, Fernando Cordero, and Pablo Lopez. Presented by McLennan County Commissioners Jim Smith, Will Jones, Ben Perry, and yours truly, Dale Wilson, and Judge Scott Felton. Congratulations to the entire La Vega boys soccer team. Remarkable accomplishments. Your resilience and determination exemplify the spirit of true competition and the unwavering pride of your school and community. Thank you.
I do this for special guys and girls in precinct 2, because that's where you're at, you're in my precinct. I got to come to one of your games earlier this year. You made me tired just watching y'all run up and down the field, so I'm so proud of y'all. This doesn't mean that you're excellent students. You mean a lot to the community, and that's what we're about, is making a difference for the community and being that good, positive role model for the young ones that are going to come up and be in your shoes soon. So let's hope we can just do this again, right, next year, and I'll get you a bigger one, okay? All right. Congratulations.
Climb up here, or do it out there?
I'd rather do it out here and climb.
Okay.
Okay, you gonna climb up there?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a picture.
But if we can get them all together, that would be good.
This way, or you gonna go that way? Come on right here, we're gonna face this way.
You're gonna have to get a special photographer to work this.
What is she doing? Turning others?
Yeah, she's gonna get in, she's gonna get on,
Come on, guys.
Judge's desk.
They invited us up.
Well, they would rather be in the picture.
I did have to manage it. Or I'm gonna be clearing workers' comp.
No, I understand.
Judge in. Turn in a little bit, that way we can squeeze in.
Can I get y'all in the front?
We need to get you this.
Just make sure you can see the camera, everyone. Between someone else.
Hey, Coach Gibson, I need you in the front. I need you in the front.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. It's an honor to be here. We're honored.
This gentleman right behind you, I can't see him. No, you, I can't see you. Come out or come in. Here we go.
She's real particular.
Perfect. Commissioners, can you scoot to your right, please? Or come in the back? Yes, that's perfect. I can see you. I can't see you behind Judge. Scoot over just a little.
Judge is blocking somebody?
I cannot believe it.
I can't either.
Okay, that's perfect. Don't breathe.
Oh, Judge, she's getting her chair.
Be careful.
Let's get a step ladder.
That's perfect. Awesome.
Here we go.
Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's get some smiles, please. You're not on the soccer field right now. You can smile. 1, 2, 3. Got it. One more. Got it. Thank you.
Look, the judge wore blue. Jen wore blue. We all wore blue today.
We know what's going on.
You got blue pants. Just a second, Judge. Just a second.
Jim, I noticed you always, let's go get your picture. It's easy for you. You can run in the front row. Will and I got to figure out where
Y'all the ones have to maneuver. It's never a problem for me. Never has been. No one has ever said you need to squat down so people behind you can see. Not been an issue. Thank y'all.
Let's take a 5-minute recess.
What?
Recording in progress.
They wanted individual pictures of each.
Sure.
Is that right?
Oh,
Well, that's cool. That's good.
Felt famous.
That's good. That's good.
No, thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
Good to recognize those folks.
Yes, they got 21 coming back next year.
Oh, wow. I'd say they got a
So,
good chance to
they'll
run
probably
it,
have another
We
shot.
might do this again.
run the table again.
All right, let's call court back into session. All right, I'd like to go back up under resolutions and call on Dustin Chapman to present D1.
Do we need to approve this?
Oh, yeah. Okay, before we do that, we just presented a plaque, and I'd like to make a motion, we accept that presentation as for recording purposes.
I make a motion, we do that. I'll second it.
All right? I have motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, Dustin?
All right, Judge, you want me to read this into the record?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Which one is it?
All right, this is a resolution of McLennan County Commissioners Court supporting a statewide wireless 911 service fee adjustment and sustainable funding model for next generation 911. Whereas it is in the best interest of the citizens of McLennan County to continue to have reliable and dependable access to emergency police, fire, and medical services, and such access depends on maintaining a modern, resilient, and secure 911 system. And whereas, as McLennan County continues to grow and technology evolves, sustaining a fully funded 911 network is essential to protecting lives, supporting first responders, and safeguarding the long-term well-being of communities throughout the region. Whereas the McLennan County 911 Emergency Assistance District operates pursuant to Texas Health and Safety Code Chapter 772 to provide regional 911 emergency communication services for residents and visitors within its service area. And whereas the statewide 911 service fee has remained at 50 cents per device per month since its inception in 1997, nearly 30 years without adjustment, resulting in an outdated and an increasingly unsustainable funding model. And whereas the emergency communication districts do not have authority to levy property taxes and rely solely on state authorized service fees to fund essential emergency communications infrastructure, network operations, cybersecurity protections, and system modernization. Whereas the Texas legislature in 2021 mandated implementation of next generation 911 statewide by September 2025, requiring the transition from legacy analog systems to secure IP-based networks capable of routing voice, text data, and other multimedia communications. And whereas the 911 district successfully met the mandated NG 911 requirements. However, a long-term sustainable funding mechanism to support its ongoing operations, cybersecurity requirements, redundancy, and lifecycle replacement costs have not yet been established. Whereas underfunding the 911 system jeopardizes public safety by threatening the security, reliability, resiliency, and timeliness of emergency response services for all residents and visitors in the 911 district service area. Whereas most states have increased the 911 fees to reflect modern operational realities, with only a small minority of states maintaining fees at 50 cents per month or less, and many charging significantly higher amounts. Whereas the 2024 statewide survey found significant statewide support for increasing the wireless 911 fee, demonstrating broad public recognition of the importance of sustaining emergency communication services. Whereas, while the specific amount of any proposed adjustment to the statewide wireless 911 service fee has not yet been determined and will be informed by legislative deliberation and expert analysis, it is necessary that any adjustment to be reasonable, data-driven, and sufficient to ensure the long-term sustainability and reliability of 911 services. And whereas any adjustment to the statewide 911 fee should be implemented with appropriate oversight, transparency, accountability to ensure funds are used solely for the support, operation, and advancement of emergency communication systems. And whereas ensuring that Texas 911 systems remain reliable, secure, modern, and capable of handling voice, text, and multimedia emergency communications is essential to protecting lives and property in all communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the McLennan County Commissioners Court that the court expresses its support for legislative action to adjust the statewide wireless 911 service fee to a level that reflects the true cost of providing resilient next generation 911 services and provides an ongoing automatic methodology for adjustment based on the Consumer Price Index. The court supports establishment of a sustainable long-term funding model to ensure continued operation, cybersecurity protection, redundancy, and modernization of Texas 911 systems. And the court directs that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to the McLennan County 911 Emergency Assistance District, the Governor of Texas, the Lieutenant Governor, the Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives, and members of the Texas Legislature representing McLennan County. Witness our hand and seal this 19th day of May, 2026. Judge.
Thank you. All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Move to approve.
Motion made and second. Any discussion?
Hey, do you think this will have some legs to it down there?
Yes.
It should be this time,
I think so.
because I took his spot on the board,
Right.
and it's pretty tough over there, so
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully.
Well, that's important.
Next Gen has been, of course,
Right.
we're on the third generation of Next Gen now. I think
Yeah.
it's been taking so
Yeah,
long to
yeah.
get to the point, but it's gotta have funding.
Well, we know how valuable 911
Exactly,
services are.
yes, yes, sir.
Saves lives, and
Yes.
I don't think we have any choice.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we have a motion and second. There's no other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Trying to break out.
One brief comment, there's construction going on in Lovis.
We hope.
Didn't know, there's no fights or anything like that. And, I was asked if they want them to stop while we're going to court, and I do not believe in stopping progress. So it makes a little noise, but, it's like knee surgery. It's gonna feel better when it quits hurting. So, anyhow, if y'all will bear with it, all that will be good. All right, under the consent agenda, I have a couple of pulls. I have E3A, it's HR matter for JP 11, and then under E3B, 1 and 2 is Constable Precinct 2. Is there any other recommended pulls? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of 2 pulls previously mentioned?
So move.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass. I'd like to go to item M6. I'd like to ask Shane McClellan and Jared Muir to come up for the Texas A&M Agri-Life Service presentation. So, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you all for taking time to meet with us today. Today, we just wanted to come and do a short interpretation with you. All the agents do that periodically during the year. Jared and I wanted to do an ag presentation for you today. Last year, I kind of gave you a shotgun approach of everything I do, or I tried to, and that's really vague. It's hard to talk about that and do justice on such a wide scale of what I do. This year, I wanted to focus more on one presentation, on one program that I do. It's grassroots led. Actually came from some committee members that met with me, and we were talking about what are we not doing for the public? What are we not doing for agriculture? And the concept was we're not celebrating ag. So 5 years ago, we really started a program called Harvest Celebration, where we celebrate agriculture. Reagan, you want me to just say next slide, or all right, next slide, please. It's a simple program. It is the last Thursday in September. Next slide, please. The key points I really want to go over. Since we started this, it's been attended by 657 people, raised over $27,000. It goes to pay for expenses. The committee wanted it to be free to the public. They didn't want people to have to pay to attend. So we have to solicit sponsors. We wanted, as I mentioned, focus on celebrating ag, especially ag heritage. Have a keynote speaker, challenge them to speak on what they see the future of agriculture or challenges to agriculture. Have a steak meal. That's getting expensive. Last year was just under $5,000 to feed 162 people. So we may be having pork chops or fajitas this year. But big ticket door prize items, all those ag sponsors, bring items that are at least $200 in value and give those out after the end of the meeting. We want to recognize our volunteers that work hard, and we also recognize those ag businesses that support extension education. With vendors spending the money they are, we want them to put their face to the people, get on the microphone and tell the public what they do, what their services are, so we give them time to speak. Next slide, please. I do a short education part of the program, about 30 minutes, something similar to what we're doing today, just highlight something that I do in the program. I will notice in the picture, there's 2 volunteers standing there, and they have complete buy-in in the program. Volunteer-driven, volunteer-led, they all have a part in the program, so they feel ownership. So every year, they're really involved in help planning it and then actually implementing the program. Next slide, please. Pictured, you can see some vendors in the background, some attendants. The people attend seem to bring a friend every year. The numbers grow every year. Next slide, please. Repeat ag vendors, as I mentioned, can't do the program without them. Next slide, please. Go one more. Simple program. We don't really change it much. People see it and know what that picture represents. Kind of as a reminder, they'll get a postcard in the mail. Next slide. Vendors are listed there on the left. And then, as I mentioned, that simple program. But a lot of different ag vendors. Had a few this year that were not ag vendors, but they liked what we were doing. They wanted to be a part of it, so I definitely appreciate them. Next slide, please. You can see the growth from when we started in 2021 to last year. We started with 100 people, and it's gone up every year. 162 is the most we've had attend. Sponsor numbers vary each year. We are going to change our sponsors this year. Some of the larger corporate top sponsors wanted to be able to spend more money and didn't want to limit it to just the $200 sponsorship. So we'll definitely look forward to seeing what they're going to contribute this year. Next slide, please. So you're all welcome to attend. It will be that last Thursday in September at the Tonkawa Falls Event Center in Crawford. Our keynote speaker is going to be Dr. Lance Keith. He's an associate professor, department head there at West Texas A&M in Canyon. Very entertaining, very professional, but definitely ag savvy. So look forward to having him. He'll make you laugh, but he'll also get into your feelings because he has the pulse of ag in his hand and kind of knows what we're doing, what's going on, and where we want it to be as far as our future. Thank you for this time.
All right.
All right.
Jared?
Yes, and the next slide, yeah. I put a few here together, like Shane said. I kind of focus mine on the youth livestock project side. We're just kind of wrapping up livestock show season here in the county and across the state. I just threw some quick numbers up there. As you can see, the youth livestock projects in our county are very popular and they're very educational as well. These are just some numbers of those livestock projects across the county that we had that are validated and attended the major livestock shows. And to help educate those kids, we put on livestock trainings. We actually had a sheep and goat one last night. And you can see some pictures there in the bottom of some of our volunteers and even some of our youth leaders, youth kids in the county instructing at those clinics. And those are some of those projects to help educate those kids, to help better prepare them for those projects. All right, Reagan, next slide. And these are the numbers of kids that we actually had participate at our major livestock shows and our county shows across the state. And those numbers grow every year. You see there at the bottom, we had over 139 youth. That's just exhibiting livestock projects at our county show alone. There's upwards of 500 youth exhibitors there at the county show, and over roughly 140 of those are 4-H members only, which is a pretty substantial number, and a lot of those kids overlap. And then lastly, I do have a little bit of adult programming as well, and I do a few programs a year. We do a wildlife habitat management program, and then we do 2 new landowner education programs every year. Y'all know that our population is growing. Those are small rural ranch at 10 to 20 acre tracts are getting more and more popular. So we do several new landowner education series, try to help educate those general public about what they can do with their properties, how to better be sustainable agriculture landowners. Thank you all for everything y'all do for us.
Sir. Okay. Anywhere in these programs y'all teach folks how to kill hogs?
We haven't done a feral hog one. We had actually did some of those this past January. We had a feral hog trapping management program as well, along with that wildlife habitat management one.
Okay, thank you. Well, y'all do a great job, and touching like in a day's time, you deal with issues to help kids. You deal with farm production people, and you deal with the person that lives in the suburb that's got a yard issue, and so pretty diverse approach to anything that grows. So that's a great thing. All right. Any thoughts? Is there a motion to approve this report for recording purposes?
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions?
I would just say y'all deal with every element of society. You really do. You touch so many people. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passed. Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all, gentlemen.
Appreciate you guys.
Good to see you moving around. Good. Thank you, guys.
Okay. All right, I'd like to go to items L3. This is a tax office discussion or action regarding the unclaimed tax refund to be paid to McLennan County. Morning. How are y'all?
Before I start, you realize your light's on?
This one?
Your phone.
Oh,
The backside.
I'm just trying to draw attention to
Tried to
myself.
help a brother out there.
I appreciate it. My battery's getting pretty weak anyway.
Honorable Judge, Honorable Commissioners, I'm Randy Riggs, Tax Assessor Collector for the citizens of McLennan County. With me is Mr. Todd Labhart, who serves as my property tax manager. Previously, he has served as my accounting manager. He has a degree in accounting and comes to us from the hospitality industry. But he will be my chief deputy in the middle of August because Kathy Holloman, many of y'all know her, has announced her retirement.
Really?
Well-deserved.
Oh, wow.
She will be missed, but excited for the contributions that Todd will bring to the office and to the county.
Welcome to the county.
Thank you. Todd, absolutely.
Appreciate the work. So we're here to talk about refunds in regard to what is presented to you all. The law currently about refunds is that we have to refund any overpayments or erroneous payments as identified and approved by the auditor. Before September 1st, the law was different. And this is in the Property Tax Code, Section 31.11, subsection C, states an application for a refund must be made within 3 years after the date of the payment, or the taxpayer waives the right to the refund. That's what the law was before September 1st. They have to apply. We had to furnish the application to them. So in this situation, also reading further in the code, it says the governing body of the taxing unit may extend the deadline provided for a single payment not to exceed 2 years on a showing of good cause by the taxpayer. What we have here is refunds that are in excess of 3 years that were not applied for. Okay, so then what are we supposed to do with that? Well, we have to escheat.
They were duly notified, right?
They were duly notified. We're required by law to send them a letter once saying you need to apply for this refund. We actually did it twice because of the amount. We felt a little guilty. Well, if I may throw you under the bus, Todd actually felt guilty. Todd's the nice guy. I'm the mean tax collector. But we're looking at this. There is a Attorney General opinion in regard to how we escheat this money. Normally, if we would write a refund check and then they didn't cash that check, that would be escheated to the state. But in this Attorney General opinion, it says, in the absence of authority to the contrary, unclaimed overpayments on property taxes belong to the county once the 3-year period of reclamation has lapsed under Section 31.11 of the tax code. The funds may be transferred into the county's general fund account pursuant to Article 8, Section 9 of the Texas Constitution. So what we're here to do is just to inform you all, let you know that we have 437 accounts that have unclaimed refunds. Now, you got to realize these are taxes, okay? And the issue is we collect for 44 entities, all those taxes. If they don't claim that money, it goes to the general fund. So these are possibly could be, taxes for other entities, but they should be given back to the individual if they would have applied for them. They didn't apply for them. The 3 years has lapsed. We will be presenting a check to the Treasurer's Office for the general fund of $708,000 in excess of that. So just wanted you all to be aware of that, and wanted to know if there's any questions that you all have. We thought it would be enough for the incentive fund for the tax office and possibly other offices as well. So are there any questions I may answer in regard to that?
Just making sure I wasn't on the list, was I? I'll go ahead and take it now if I was.
I missed my letter in the mail. All right, so to claim a refund, first of all, you notified everybody twice, but to claim it, they have to fill out a claim on a form supplied by the tax office. And only those people who applied can get the 2-year extension.
They only get the 2-year extension after the 3 years if the court, if the governing body deems them worthy.
But they have to make application for the extension also, don't they?
I would think they'd have to ask for it.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be up to you all. But these people have not applied, and they've given.
And they
been
haven't
given
applied, they didn't
ample-
make that 3-year
Correct,
deadline.
correct. And actually, the big one, it's been over 5 years.
And it's more than half of that 700 and something thousand.
So there's
Is
one
that correct?
account.
It is.
There's one account.
It
There's
is.
one that makes up a big part of it, right?
Correct.
So then what are you asking the county today?
I am informing the county
Inform-
today.
and-
I'm letting you all
What
know
are our
that,
options then? Okay, what are our options then?
much
there's
cash.
really no action needed.
No action, it's just gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
By law, it's gonna happen.
It's like Christmas in May.
He's just asking for us to think about him after he turns this money in. I know what,
I've already forgot him, so.
what's his name? I don't remember
In
your
the
name.
past, so where have refunds gone in the past? What has happened to unclaimed refunds in the past?
When these happen, they're escheated to the county.
General fund?
Rarely, yes. But these are refunds that were not applied for.
So
As opposed
so
to
this
a-
happens in the past.
Because we get requests for refunds over a certain amount all the time, right? That
Right.
we're overpaid. And if they're under a certain amount, they're not, isn't that right, Will? They're not, we don't get those, or,
So what you get
I mean, this is the
requests
first
for,
time, that I can recall this ever.
normally it's a small amount.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it
And so
just-
it says, oh, okay.
So it's a small amount, you don't come to court.
Exactly. It just happens. I'm here primarily for full disclosure, to let y'all know, Francis takes care of the numbers, but when you see an amount of $700,000, it may get somebody's attention. I wanted to give you all the opportunity to ask any questions that you may have.
But they've been duly informed.
Twice.
There's been a waiting period, there's been a period of time where they had to apply and they did not apply, and then, or file for an extension.
Exactly. And Commissioner, I don't know if I could really answer that or not, because if I were adequately informed of this amount of money, I certainly would have applied. I don't know why they didn't apply, but we can't make them apply.
Okay, then do we need to do some more due diligence in trying to find the person?
Now, we know the entity. Yeah.
You know?
and you have paper trails showing that they were notified.
Absolutely. And,
done
and for full disclosure, it's also, we checked with our delinquent tax attorney, Scott Wirt, with Linebarger, Goggin, Blair, and Sampson.
Yeah, what?
To make sure that what we were doing was in line with the law. Because it's a substantial amount in our mind. We refund money every day, all the time. And we don't like giving money away because we're the tax collector, not the tax giver.
What's the amount that comes to us? Over how much? 2,500 or something? Is it that we get?
Used to, right. And so there's so many different types of refunds. These are overpayments and erroneous payments. Used to, it would have to come to you all if the amount was over $2,500. That has changed. The law changed
Really?
on September 1st.
What is it now?
Now, we are not required to, we are required to give the money back to the individual without an application.
Okay.
So there's never one that's going to need approval because we're going to give the money back.
Under,
These all
see these
happened
folks in court.
before September 1st,
before
under
the
old
law changed?
Imagine
Correct.
we'll see
Before the law changed, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So Francis always calculates that we're gonna collect 98% of the tax, just for budgeting purposes, at 98 or whatever.
Yeah, just for current year, because we're just looking
Yeah,
at
for
that
current year,
12-month
because we're
period.
still in there. But this shows
So
you
100%.
that we'll eventually collect that tax or take the property. And so, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Now, there are some that we cannot collect. A lot of times, you have to actually bring an action against them. You have to have proper service, and that's sometimes more difficult than it
Yeah,
sounds.
yeah,
Trying to
that's true.
find out who you
Those are
sue.
generally real small amounts, and the other thing is it might not be worth the effort, and that's what you're saying.
Small amounts, right?
Yeah, small amounts, and owning the property may be a liability or something, so.
And that's where our scofflaw program really
Yeah.
comes into play,
Yeah.
because we are able to collect the small amounts that the attorneys are not going to spend time going after.
Yeah, okay.
So we like collecting money, and it's what we do.
So then do we need to accept this report for recording purposes?
Yeah, it's just a report, so yes, sir.
Okay, motion to accept this report for recording purposes.
Second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
If y'all have any other questions, let me know.
Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Good to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay, I'd like to go to item M3. This is authorization of renewal of the basic emergency management plan for McLennan County. I'd like to call on Ryan Durker. Good morning.
Judge Felton, Commissioners, good morning. The item before you is the standard 5-year ratification update for the county's emergency management plan. This is required of us at the state. It's the big plan that is signed off on by all the jurisdictions. And it is up for renewal. We have made a basic update with it, we'll call it a tactical update, general sort of things. It's not massively different than it was before. I will inform the court, however, just for your awareness, that in our budget for this year, emergency management seeks a six-figure sum, about $100,000 to $150,000, split between the county and the city, to hire a contractor for a larger update to this plan. The plan in of itself still has the bones from 10, 15 years ago, and while we have made substantial updates over that time, we plan on shifting this plan in the future from functional annexes to emergency support functions to be in line with what the state wants us to do. But that's down the road. What's in front of you right now is the update for the current plan that once we have the county's approval, we'll be going to all the other jurisdictions for their signatures as well.
Okay, any questions? All right.
Well, does the state change stuff every year on that, just about, or?
No, sir, they do not.
Not too bad, because when I was in police chief at the school, every year my emergency situation plan had to be, every year the state changed it. So I was just wondering how it was with you.
So thankfully, emergency management in the state has been around much longer than our friends at the Texas School Safety Center, and especially in light of all the things that have happened the last couple of years, they are still kind of, in my opinion, trying to figure out their way and add things to those systems. But no, the state is not nearly as involved. The larger involvement, again, in the future will be switching from functional annexes, which is a way of subdividing more specific tasks in the plan and switching it to something called emergency support functions. It serves the same purpose, they're just organized a little bit different. Right. And in order to transition them, it's going to take some doing. And with our small staff, we felt it'd be more prudent and a better product for the county to do that. But that's down the road.
Gotcha.
All right, any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve the renewal of the basic emergency management plan?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any storms coming in?
Could be some flooding today.
Oh,
We'll take a look at it.
okay.
Don't try to scare anybody.
Yep, stay away from the river. All right, I'd like to go back to some pulled items on the consent agenda. The first one is E3A, it's an HR matter for JP 11.
1-1.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Judge.
Morning, how are y'all?
Good.
So I have here a request to appoint the death investigator. Judge Hensley has reviewed applicants, interviewed applicants. HR has completed the background screen and employment verification for the finalist. His name is William Johnston. He comes with a law enforcement background, worked for 33 years as a deputy for a Florida county. And just to remind the court, the position is supporting Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 and their inquests on an on-call basis. And it's a part-time position, only to be reporting time worked when actively out on an inquest call, and which Judge Hensley is expecting that to be around 7 to 9 calls per week. And so we recommend the appointment of William Johnston for the death investigator position.
Is he currently retired, or what does he do?
That's right.
So he's got the time to,
Yeah, he's a young retired.
Really?
He had 33 years with the same Escambia County, and then they moved to Texas and recently moved to Robinson in January. And I think he's tired of honeydews and is looking for something else to do.
I'll take care of that.
Okay.
And this is going to be for both J.P. Durham too?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So it's supporting those primarily at the beginning, and if
Yeah.
there's bandwidth to support the other precincts at that point,
Understood. Sounds great.
that could be presented to Judge Hensley.
It's a motion, it's a position we approve, so Judge, I move
Yeah, and
to.
I think the other thing to note as well is we will be able to look at the activity and those kind of things and see how it drives.
You bet.
Helps out and those kind of, just, to be sure we're.
Motion to approve the appointment of William Johnson as a part-time death investigator.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, next, under E3B, 1 and 2, Constable Precinct 2. What was it?
Judge,
Justin?
I'll,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll handle these. So, as the court is aware, Constable Johnson had previously announced this would be his last term. So there was a primary in March. Reggie Jackson won that Democratic primary. There is no opponent on the Republican side. So Constable Johnson has submitted his formal notice of his retirement effective May the 29th. We need to accept that letter of retirement. And then the thought would be to go ahead and appoint Reggie Jackson, who won that primary, has no challenger in November, to go ahead and take office effective June the 1st. So that would be our recommendation.
Okay, thank you. I do want to say on Constable Johnson that he has been an outstanding elected official and has set a good example on how to serve his community and dedication, all those things. Great to get along with. And,
Absolutely.
Never received a complaint about Constable Johnson, at least from my point, but I think the court would like to extend their appreciation for all his years of service. And if we want to put that in a letter form or something, I'd be good with that. And I could even do it for you.
I got to work with him, years ago at the Sheriff's Department, and then he was in the jail service, and just been tremendous his whole career.
Yeah, right.
Going to be missed.
Yeah, so.
And looking forward to working with Reggie, because I worked with Reggie at the jail years ago too, and he's very squared away person. I think he's going to be a good fit for that position.
Yeah. So I make a motion that we accept the letter of retirement.
Second.
All right, motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. And then the second is for the Commissioners Court to go ahead and make the move to fill the vacancy with Reggie Jackson.
June 1st.
On June 1st. Yep. All right.
That's a motion.
Second.
I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you. All right, Dustin.
All right. Yes, we move on to item F, bids, RFPs, RFQs. F1 is authorization of invoice from A&A Technology Group for My Telephone System license renewal. John?
Morning.
This is a simple renewal for our voicemail system, for our MyTel phone voicemail system. This year is $44,541.05. It's a year-to-year, so it was in the budget, and it only increased $157.21 from last year, 31 cents from last year, excuse me.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. Thank you.
Always.
Under item G, contracts and interlocal agreements, G1s regarding the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Intergovernmental Service Agreement, authorization of modification of contract. This is what we do from time to time. This just adds an additional $5,000 in funding to this task order, and it is recommended for approval.
All right.
Move to approve, Judge.
All right, then there's a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
G2 is authorization of Lexis subscription amendment with library patron access with LexisNexis for the law library. These terms are included in your packet. It would go through April of 2029. Just as a reminder, this is what is recommended by the Law Library Committee, and it's paid from the Law Library Fund and is recommended for approval.
All right, well, they know what they would want, and they have the money for it, so I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G3 is authorization of AWP safety agreement estimate for message boards rental for Road and Bridge Precinct 4. Commissioner Perry?
Yes, this is something that's going to be needed here soon for some projects going on in the precinct. So I would make a motion to approve this.
All right, I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Item G4 needs to be deferred.
Motion to defer.
There's motion and second to defer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
G5 is regarding the agreement with Segra, authorization of amendment for internet service for county facilities. John?
Yes, excuse me. So on 12/2/25, you all approved our new plan to go to the Segra Internet and Network Services. All this is a non-material change order, just in the way they're designing it all, but there is a signature required, which is why we're coming to court to have it approved. And we all agree with it. It's been reviewed and is recommended for approval.
I'll make a motion, we approve the amendment with Segra.
Second. When's the go live with them?
We're planning to have that live or ready for us in August, but then there's a 2-month roughly changeover from when we have changeover from our current internet provider, and that takes some time as we have to do it site by site.
Any other questions? We have a motion second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
I forgot to mention there's no change in price or anything.
Yeah, thank you.
G6 is regarding the Master Engineering and Consulting Services Agreement, work order number 1 with Lockwood, Andrews, and Newman. This is authorization of professional service invoice on their water consulting services. This is everything kind of outside of ARPA. This is the water, Central Texas Water Alliance support, McLennan County Water Resources Group support. This invoice totals $7,045.33 for their services through March. It's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
All right, any questions?
Question real quick. Dustin, remind me, was this an open-ended, was there a maximum amount when this contract was signed?
Yes, sir. So we did, I think this first work order totaled a little over 50,000. And so we will keep bringing these back to y'all for approval as additional work orders as we move forward. So we do kind of have that check on there, Commissioner.
Okay. And one thing, just point out too, he's been very involved on our behalf under the Central Texas Water Alliance as well as, so yesterday we had a meeting with McLennan County Water Resource Group, and he put together a program where we explained to them what all was going on with Central Texas Water Alliance, and Jed Walker made a presentation regarding the evaluation of the amount of water that's in both McLennan and Bell County. And so we had some of the big water providers in here to inform them that we're asking them to provide a lot of information on how much water we have. It's hard to ask how much water, it's hard to tell the community how much water we need until we really know how much water we have. And so a lot of these get really complex, and to have an engineer on our team has been really beneficial for the overall deal, so.
Judge, there was a article, I think it's KWTX recently, on the states talking about water needs in the future, water plus infrastructure.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the timeline was. I don't know if it's 10 years, 20 years, something like that, but they're talking $170 billion plus.
Yeah, by 2030, I think.
2030?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not that far out.
No, it's not, and I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're gonna have to take it, they were late, the legislature was late to the party of addressing it with real money. And it's gonna be a dogfight, but I think the fact that Corpus Christi is in dire need, there's communities are in danger of losing their water that's provided by the city of Corpus Christi, that this needs a lot of attention. Fortunately for us, we're not in that kind of shape, but if we want to grow in this community, and it's gonna grow whether we want it to or not, I guess you'd say, we're gonna need plenty of water of all types, whether it's water right out of the river, out of the lake, treated water, as well as wastewater. Wastewater is a big solution to a lot of the needs, but industrial side especially, but the amount of dollars it's gonna take to get us there is gonna be tremendous, so.
Can I say
Yeah,
one
sir.
thing real quick? Tom's, in my travels through the state and visiting with other commissioners through CUC, Tom is very well respected and generally recognized as an expert.
Yes. And, his background, he worked for Brazos River Authority and, done
But he
work.
has a lot of federal connections, I mean.
That's one
DC
thing that he's got that a
connection.
lot of these engineers don't, is they have a legislative consultant that he's part of in DC as well. But we're primarily working on local and state issues. And he'll be important as we go forward, working with the legislature to say when we need to go to Austin and talk, and he prepares, what you're gonna say a lot of times too, so I value our relationship with him. So I don't think we made a motion yet, make a motion that we approve the invoice to
Second.
Lockwood, Andrews, Newman. And, Commissioner Jones, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G7s regarding the provider agreement with Leal Snacks Micro Markets, authorization of renewal request for Jack Harwell Detention Center and Highway 6 Jail. Ken?
We've had one of the micro markets in Jack Harwell for many years. Last year, we added Highway 6 Jail and combined those agreements under one document. And so, anyway, with the court approval, we'll renew that agreement for an additional year, and that would run from 5/20/26 to 5/19/27.
Okay, any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion second?
I've heard good stuff about it out there, that the employees are talking
I like
about
it.
it, so yeah,
Been
they
very
really like
well
it.
received.
Yeah, and Commissioner Jones is very insistent that they put some broccoli and apples in.
Yeah. Really important.
Okay, all right, we have a motion second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G8 is authorization of customer service agreement with RW Lone Star Security for shredding services for Jack Harwell Detention Center, Highway 6 Jail, and Sheriff's Office. Ken?
Yes, just to clarify, for each one of those cans is $35 per month per can. And so anyway, for the Highway 6, Jack Harwell and Sheriff's Office, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different cans. And if approved by the court, our agreement with RW Lone Star would run from 6/1/26 through 5/31/27.
I appreciate the clarification, Ken. I was having trouble. I saw that 175. I thought per can, it threw me a little bit. So I appreciate you explaining that
Not
ahead
a
of time. So
problem.
I would move to approve the agreement, Judge.
All right, I'll second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, passed.
G9 is regarding the vending machine license agreement with Automatic Chef Canteen, authorization of renewal request. Ken?
Helmets.
Yes, we bring this before the court. Of course,
Hard hat.
Automatic Chef Canteen supplies all the vending machines that we have in the county. They did request a few increases on some of the goods in the machine, but I don't think it's unlike anything that you'd find in a convenience store. So anyway, if the court approves, we'd renew this agreement with Automatic Chef from June 1, 2026 through May 31, 2027.
Okay, any questions for Ken?
No questions, comment. Ken, I've been involved with vending machines a lot of my life. I get a lot of my food through them. And they're about as good as I've seen on keeping up and keeping the upkeep on the machines. So
I
they do a
haven't
good
heard a
job.
whole lot of complaints.
Yeah, do a good job. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Captain, you have any comments?
No, sir.
Okay. I wouldn't either after a motion and a second. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
G10 is authorization of state plan of operation agreement application with the state of Texas for Texas Law Enforcement Support Office Program surplus property for the sheriff's office. Captain Nixon?
Morning, Judge. Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
This is our annual application for participation in the surplus property program with the federal government.
Good enough. Motion to approve, Judge.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
We getting a Huey
All right, move.
or getting a Blackhawk?
Nothing right now.
Vote.
As long as it's not used vest, we're all right.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry.
Justin?
Moving on to item H, capital improvement and construction projects. H1 is regarding Chapel Road Improvement Project. H1A is authorization of work change directive number 6 from Casparian Underground doing business as H&B Contractors. And then H1B is authorization of work change directive number 7 from Casparian Underground. Amy?
Good morning, Commissioners. Judge.
Morning.
These two work directives are to repair damage done to the pavement from accidents. The first one was a tractor trailer that their load shifted and it broke the diesel tank and spilled diesel on the new pavement. So we need to dig up that pavement and replace it. And the second one was Jason's lawn care trailer blew 2 back tires and scarred up the pavement and knocked down a sign. So this is extra work for H&B. Have been in contact with Mike Dixon, and he is pursuing reimbursement for the county for the cost of these
Good.
damages through the insurance.
Okay.
Good.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
Thank you.
H2 is regarding the Justice of the Peace Precinct 5 Office Edition construction agreement with HCS Incorporated, authorization of change order number 1. Ken?
This change order is officially returning leftover contingency monies back to the county in the amount of $6,925.02. Just making this for the record.
All right. All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve change order number 1.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, pass.
All right, moving on to item I, budget amendments. I1 is regarding the FY26 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So for FY26, we have these budget amendments as presented today, starting with I1A. This is General Fund County Auditor's Office. We are needing to increase our professional development line, and we are requesting to move within our department. We have an additional CPA in our office now, and costs have just increased far more than we had budgeted for. So we're requesting to make that adjustment to our budget. I1B, this is General Fund Capital Outlay, and this is a request from IT to increase the jail camera project amount, and this is to cover a computer and an HDMI adapter that is needed for the project. I-1C, this is General Fund, County Court at Law 1, requesting to move within their department into professional development to cover cost for a conference they're attending in September. I-1D, this is General Fund, County Judge's Office, requesting to move within that department into software licensing to cover a license renewal for Laserfish. I-1E, this is General Fund County Sheriff. They are requesting to move within their umbrella of departments to increase the uniforms and insignias lines in both the Highway 6 jail and Jack Harwell budgets. I-1F, this is General Fund JP Precinct 11, requesting to move within that department to increase supplies for costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. I-1G, this is a mid-year cleanup entry, or budget amendment rather, for general fund. A lot of times we clean these up at year end, but we're doing one mid-year at this point. And so I'll give a little explanation here. I do need to make one verbal adjustment. The final agenda packet will have the adjusted, but we need to take the first line of each section off for the county judge. We covered that for the budget amendment that I've already covered. But other than that, so these budget amendments are needed from time to time. You will make approvals during Commissioner's Court, and we don't do a budget amendment at that time. We want to wait and see if we'll actually need one for that line item, so we may hold off. Some of them are items that we just have no control over, and some are items that you have approved, a contract or agreement, and we follow up with the budget amendment later. For the most part, the adjustment within each department, we found other lines in those departments to move from, but a few exceptions would be some of the county-wide lines. So you'll see there the larger increase to general liability insurance. So we covered all of those increases in the policies earlier in the year. And that's something we don't ever know until after the budget's adopted, but those increases surpassed what we had anticipated. You would approve that. Of course, those policy amounts, or those premium amounts rather, but we're following up with that amendment at this time. Down close to the bottom of that first section, there's an increase to industrial business grants. So that is also something that is hard to know what to budget for each year, because as you all know, you approve those grant amounts based on when those agreements come live for each of those companies. So they may have to meet salary requirements, employee count requirements. And so we used to budget a larger amount each year, but we weren't spending it, so we brought that down. And again, just kind of the method of our budgeting now, if we're unsure about it and, it's not consistently being spent, let's not budget for it. Let's, have money in contingencies for those types of amounts. So that is one industrial business grants that, of course, have gone through you. You've approved those agreements, and then those grant amounts have come to you this fiscal year. And then Spaceport, that bottom line, is another one where we were budgeting an amount. You approved cost for that program through economic development, but it wasn't being spent every year. So instead of placing that in the budget and not knowing if we'd spend it, we have a placeholder there, and then we bring those to you as you have approved them. So just wanted to give a little context to why we have a mid-year budget adjustment for general fund. I-1H1, this is a certification of revenue for interlocal agreement proceeds with Moody, as well as some auction proceeds. And then the related budget amendment is requested by Road and Bridge Precinct 1, and the request is to move that same amount of proceeds into the capital outlay line item in that department. I-1H2 is also another certification of revenue. This is for interlocal agreement proceeds with Woodway, as well as some auction proceeds in addition. And then Road and Bridge 4 is requesting to increase 4 lines within their budget based on that same amount that we're certifying. And so that should conclude the budget amendments for FY26, I-1A through I-1H, 1 and 2.
All right, any questions on those? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I1I is Heart of Texas Council of Governments Area Agency on Aging, authorization of FY26 dues for a senior citizen program. This is the annual one we participate in, that our matching dues total $11,116.74 for the senior citizen program. It served 36,000 plus individuals, and there's currently $11,442 in the budget to cover that expense.
All right, any questions for Dustin on that?
Dustin, give me the number again, McLennan, are those all McLennan County residents?
It's 36,095. Let me see. It may be in the hot cog region. It shows everything is referenced in terms of community. It's individuals served 36,095 for the invoice of $11,116.74. Your community received a value of $276,000 in aging services.
Okay.
So I think it's probably within that hot cog region.
Okay. Thank you, Dustin.
All right, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
I1J is authorization of Texas Association of Counties claim deductible invoice. This is an invoice totaling $10,000 for claims associated with Edward Cortez, and this was a jail matter. Need a motion to approve that invoice.
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Then I2 is regarding the FY27 budget. Francis?
Thank you. So short update today. Normally we would go ahead and start covering preliminary tax rates, look at scenarios, but that is on the agenda for next Tuesday at the retreat.
Oh.
And so just to have the most efficient conversation as possible, I'll hold those topics until Tuesday, so we can have sufficient time to cover those. And so we'll be covering, amongst a lot of things, those preliminary tax rate, what those scenarios look like right now, and then also fund balance goals, thoughts on that matter. Two very big picture ideas that we need to move into the details of the budget. But we are, of course, in the midst of gathering budget information. Requests are coming in. We're setting up meetings with those departments that need to be met with. And so we're still on track to have those requests presented to you or available for you mid-June. And then, of course, we'll start diving into those that first full week of July. But looking forward to the conversations we'll have next Tuesday on budget. So.
All right, any action needed on that, Justin?
No, sir.
Just a report, okay.
All right, so we can move on. We have nothing under item J this week. Under item K, grant proposals. K1 is our ARPA discussion. K1A is regarding the professional consulting contract addendums with Lockwood, Anders, and Newnham. Authorization of professional service invoice. This invoice totals $2,769.35, and it is for their ARPA-related services through the end of March. It's been reviewed and recommended for approval.
All right.
Move to approve, Judge.
All right, have a motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
K2 is regarding the Texas A&M Forest Service Community Wildfire Defense Grant, authorization of grant application. Commissioner Jones?
So yes, the Forest Service has a community wildfire defense grant. In the past, the closing date for the application has been in March. The purpose of the grant is to assist at-risk local communities and Indian tribes with planning and mitigating against the risk created by wildfire. There are two categories of projects: Community Wildfire Protection Plan and Project Implementation. If you'll remember back in 2023, Kylie Moran with the Texas A&M Forest Service was in court. He gave a presentation regarding a federal grant. The court approved moving forward with the start of the Community Wildfire Protection Plan. A resolution in support of McLennan County establishing a Community Wildfire Protection Plan was approved on November the 7th, 2023. The grant application was not ready for the 2025 submission. The City of Waco Fire Department was undergoing an administration change, and we wanted to wait for a new fire chief to weigh in on potentially joining the effort. So once the new chief was sworn in, McLennan County Fire Departments became engaged, as well as the city of Waco conducted on-ground assessments to identify risk. All assessments are complete. There are 16 extreme risk, 104 high risk, 251 moderate risk, and 78 low risk of wildfire ignition points. And I think I saw just a little bit ago, there was a fire out towards on 317 on Crawford. Even in this damp humidity, there's still the potential of fire. We are now waiting for the grant application period to open. If the application is approved and the grant awarded, the court will need to hire a grant writer for implementation of the project plan. There is no minimum federal funding limit for projects under the Community Wildfire Defense Grant. The maximum funding amounts awarded to any applicant are as follows: $250,000 for the creation or updating of a community wildfire protection plan, $10 million in projects identified or described within the assessment and community wildfire protection plan that are less than 10 years old. There's a 10% non-federal match for proposals to develop or update a community wildfire protection plan, and 25% match, non-federal match for the proposals of the to implement projects described within a community wildfire protection plan. So again, we worked, just in summary, we worked on this back in 23 and 24 and didn't make the 25 deadline for various different reasons, and we'd like to now move forward in the next round if the court is so inclined.
Thank you. Any questions?
Cost of grant writing and the matching, would that be shared between the entities on some basis, Commissioner?
I'm sure we would, probably, I mean, I think it would be up to us, honestly.
Prorated.
Yeah, because we're, as we saw earlier, their funding's very limited. So.
Okay. All right. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the grant application.
Second.
All right, I have a motion. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passed.
All right, K3 is regarding the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, DFPS Title IV-E grant contract for legal services. K3A is authorization of Title IV-E legal assistant claim for the quarter ending March 31st. And then K3B is authorization of the Title IV-E legal representation claim for the same quarter. Francis?
Yes, so I can take those two together. So K3A is the Title IV-E claim for legal assistance expenses incurred by the DA's office related to CPS cases that fall under Title IV-E. And so that on that claim, there's a federal reimbursement of $14,813.66. And then on K3B is the Title IV-E legal representation claim, and it is for the reimbursement of attorney's fees for those CPS cases under Title IV-E with a federal reimbursement of $28,398.17.
All right, any questions for Francis? Is there a motion to approve the legal assistance grant under L3A and the L3B agenda item, the motion to approve for legal representation claim?
So move.
Second.
Have motion second. Any
That's
discussion?
K3A and K3B?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, have motion second. Any discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, passed.
K4 is regarding the Bureau of Justice Assistance State Criminal Alien Assistance Program. This is the SCAP program, authorization of FY25 grant application. This is an annual grant we apply for. It provides federal payments to localities that incur correctional officer salary costs for incarceration of certain undocumented criminal aliens. So if we could move forward with the grant application, we work with JBI Justice Benefits. They help gather all the data, and then we will submit this application. So we just need a motion to approve this grant.
All right, what's the pleasure of the court?
So move. Second.
Motion made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass.
Under item L, Department Office Specific Requests, L1 is Specialty Court, authorization of order accepting donations. So there's a list in your packets of the donations for the Specialty Court that were donated during the month of April, and we just need a motion to accept those donations.
Okay, it's all the way from Snickers bars to gift cards.
You bet.
So on and so forth.
Motion to approve the donations, Judge.
All right, and all the Snickers bars with everything else?
You bet.
Okay. All right, we have a motion. Did you get a second?
Second.
And second, and no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
L2 is purchasing, authorization of online auction with Renee Bates, related ad in order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing disposition of same. Ken?
Yes, we've put together 20 lots, 2 lots at precinct 3, and then the rest with various items at the Cobb's building. If approved by the court, the auction begin on May 28th, close on June 11th.
All right, any questions? You see the list there. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
A motion second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
Right, L4 is County Sheriff, approval of order declaring certain property as surplus and authorizing the disposal of said property, and it's about tactical gear. Ken?
Most of the tactical gear, we will, if the court approves, we will have destroyed as usual. The body armor and stuff like that, we don't try to resell.
Right.
I'll work closely with Sheriff's Department on any items that we could put in auction, we'll put it in auction. But again, just need the approval of the court to start disposing of the items.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve that. Second. And motion second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Under item M, additional items for discussion and action. M1 is authorizations regarding the 104th Annual County Judge and Commissioners Association of Texas Conference host court night. What's before you today is an approval of an order for the acceptance of a $2,100 donation from Destination Waco. That will be used to cover the venue rental, which will be the Texas Ranger Museum Hall. So again, just need to accept this $2,100 for that purpose.
All right, I make a motion, we accept that.
Second.
Motion made and second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
M2 is discussion and or action regarding order authorizing Juneteenth fireworks sales. Should the court want to permit these fireworks sales, we need to affirmatively adopt this order before June the 1st. If you don't wish to permit the sale of fireworks during this period, then no action is required. We did check with emergency management. Currently, they don't have any concerns. However, with it being a month out, they do just express that recommend caution, as fire danger conditions could be very different in June. I will point out that the order itself expires either at midnight on June 19th or on the date the Texas Fire Service determines drought conditions exist in our county, whichever is earlier. So there is that protection in this order.
Okay, any questions?
I do know we have tons of large events going to be that weekend, so I think that would be nice if we can do that.
Okay.
As long as the weather is permitting.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Second.
All right, a motion second, any other discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Moving down to M4, selection designation of public members of the Salary Grievance Committee regarding the FY27 budget. Mercedes, do we need to do anything today?
No, Dustin, there's no action needed.
All right, no action needed.
Dang it.
Move on to M5, acceptance of Lakeland Hills Drive and Lakeland Hills Circle into the county road system for maintenance subject to upfront payment for improvement of the roads in Precinct 2. Commissioner Wilson, any update today?
I have 95% of the owner's signatures, so do we need to wait if we have 95%, or we defer one more time?
I think let's defer again, Commissioner, and then we'll work on those next steps.
Gotcha. That sounds good to me.
All right, so that's a motion to defer. I'll second. Any other discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
All right, moving down to item M7, authorization of McLennan County Children's Protective Services Board appointment. The CPS Board is requesting the approval of Alexandra Gonzalez's appointment to the CPS Board. So we just need a motion to approve Alexandra Gonzalez as an appointment to the CPS Board.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Pass.
M9 is the announcement of interest and/or possible future agenda topics. Don't know if anybody has anything to share today. Not, we'll move on. We have nothing under item N, Americans with Disabilities Compliance Project. Under item O, McLennan County Downtown Jail Remodel Project. O1s regarding the construction manager at risk agreement with John W. Irwin. O1A is authorization of application for partial payment number 17. This partial pay application is in the amount of $2,471,497. It has been reviewed and has been recommended for approval. And Ken, TJ, anything y'all would like to add?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass.
Judge, I believe that's all the action items, and we do have the one executive session item.
And that would go under,
It'll be 551.07.
right, 551.0. All right, let's have a 5-minute recess, and then when we come back in, we'll go under executive session under 551.074.
Recording in progress.
Let's call the court back into order. Okay, I'd like to go into executive session under 551.074 of the Government Code regarding personnel matters, and I'd like for Dustin Chapman, Anna, Ken, and Francis stay in the meeting. Didn't you say Francis should stay in? Okay.
Has recording stopped now?
It will.
Okay, okay.
All right.
I couldn't tell. So it was-
Recording in progress.
From the other day, this guy kept hanging around. That worried me a little bit.
Yeah.
But when I walked out, he said, Judge Felton? I said, no, sir. I said, no, he did. He said, Judge Felton? I said, no, I'm Commissioner Smith. I said, we do get confused sometimes because we both have.
Recording stopped.
Oh, it's the height.
Oh, no.
Recording in progress.
I thought it was the good looks.
Well, I told him I thought I was better looking, but.
Well, I'd hate to put that to a vote, but.
Me too.
Okay. All right, let's call court back into session. All right, is there anything else to come before the court today? Did we clean the agenda up properly?
That's correct.
All right. All right, if there's nothing else, well, we will stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Back.